Welcome to Talkin Trash, and today we're at the Becker County Demolition Landfill site. And so last week we talked a little bit about what you can bring here and what you can't bring here to the demolition site. So Matt, can you tell us more specifics about the actual site? How deep is the hole? How big is it? How much does it hold?
Sure. General numbers, demolition cells can range in size. The one you see behind us actually was excavated out. There was a hole down there. Probably on one end maybe 15 feet deep, on the other end maybe 10 feet deep or so. And that just depends on the permitted size that we ask for through the state and the length and the width. This is about 30,000 cubic feet when we're done. When you dig that hole or you permit for that hole, you just have to make sure that as far as going how deep you are, that you're not into a water table. And we have that checked out before we ask our permits, and then that we don't get into some sugar sand. We like to have a clay liner, clay on the bottom. This is an unlined landfill. There's not a rubber liner in there. Like last week we talked about the things that cannot be in there. That's because eventually that will erode and go back into the earth again. So that's one of the reasons. But this is, I believe, the number 12 demolition cell that we have on site here, and our future forecast, I believe, if I was told right here, is we have about 100 years worth of demolition that we can take in at our current rate.
So what is the operator doing behind us with that? Can you explain a little bit what that machine is and what he's doing?
Right, that's called a compactor. You see that the wheels on that compactor, they have what we use as a general term as sheep's feet on there. And what that compactor does is it will break up and smash the demolition debris. It averages about 3 to 1. So if we didn't compact, the cell would fill up much quicker. And if we do, we can get 3 times the life out of that cell. Some items compact down to 5 to 1, and some are very little, 1 to 1, like shingles. They really don't compact. They break up and fill up the voids, which is a great thing. But then again, as we stated earlier, we like to recycle our shingles if we can.
And so why do we recycle the concrete in the shingles?
Well, that's so we can just put that back out into the community again, and it doesn't fill up that demolition cells, so in turn we don't have to excavate another one as quickly, which is a cost-saving plan, and it also produces longevity for the landfill area here. We can get more time, more years out of it.
So one of the questions that I've had recently, it must be just there's a lot of remodeling and that kind of thing. So, such as something like insulation, can that come back here? Because that's kind of fluffy. It's sometimes got paper on it. But what do you do with that? What do people have to do specifically with insulation?
When that insulation comes, it can go into the demolition landfill. That's part of the home. But if they bring it in bags, plastic bags, or in wrappers, that will have to be taken out of that. We cannot have that packaging material in our demolition cell. People may get confused because they think it's plastic, and there is some plastics in a home. But with our permit and with the state, they do not let us have packaging material. They just have to have a cutoff point, what can and cannot be in there. There's not really a gray area. It can or it can't, and packaging material cannot be in there. So they bring out, to reiterate, they bring out that insulation. They'd have to take it out of the bags because some of it's blown in insulation, and that has to be taken out and dumped out.
And then they can bring the plastic or the bags or whatever back up to the transfer station and dispose of it up here, but it just can't go back here. And so there's a reason why we have the rules. So if you have any questions, give the landfill office a call. It's 218-847-6382. And Matt, thank you for your assistance these last 2 episodes. Have a great fall season.
Thank you, Sandy.